Hello and welcome to ActiveNet Bites. ActiveNet Bites is just a short introduction interview to some of the subjects that we're going to be talking about at our event on the 29th and 30th of March at Eastwood Hall. Now it's busy, it's full actually, we've sold out, but I will give you a link to a live stream as a result of this conversation today. So today I'm really pleased to introduce you to both Mike Hill and Tom Gosner. Now we're going to be talking about being a carbon neutral event. And I think this is something that is on everybody's minds at the moment around decarbonisation, etc. So, Mike, talk to us about this carbon neutral piece. What is it? Why are we doing it? Why is it so important?
I was having to think about it this morning, Dave, and I think there's three key reasons why this ActiveNet, we decided quite a long time ago to really focus on sustainability and net zero carbon. And I guess the first one is the sort of the big picture, the fact that we know we've got a global crisis, climate warming. Hopefully everyone is absolutely aware of that. People are probably aware that by 2050, we've got a national commitment to be net zero carbon by then. Now, the leisure sector in all its guises is a massive contributor to carbon emissions. If you think not just about the active leisure sector, but hotels, restaurants, places, amusement parks, all these contribute, quite significantly to the carbon emissions of the whole nation. So it's become, we need to play our part as a sector in contributing towards that target, along with all the other industries and sectors that make up the UK economy. And that's starting to feed down now. Now we've got that national target at national government level. It's starting to feed down through local authorities. And obviously, ActiveNet, we focus very extent on the public sector. So a lot of our operators are either local authorities or spin outside of local authorities or have local authorities and clients. So all of them are now going to start getting pressure from their local authorities, because all local authorities are having to put together their plans to do this. So I think that's the first one, the big picture. The second one is consumers, and this is an interesting one. Consumers are becoming more environmentally conscious, and increasingly that when they're buying habits, they're asking, well, what does this company do to look at its carbon emissions and what's its sustainability strategy? So it's important for all of the leisure operators to have that information, that awareness, because you never know. Eventually, if people have got a choice between two gyms, perhaps the same price, perhaps one of the key buying decisions going forward, as it is with a lot of products now, will be, well, where does this company stand in terms of its net carbon zero policy and its sustainability approach to sustainability? And then finally, I've left this to last because it's probably the most obvious one, but energy costs. Absolutely critical situation in the industry at the moment for energy costs. So if nothing else, just it's a bottom line driver. Let's look to see how we can be much more efficient in the energy that we use as a sector.
Absolutely, and I think that reflects Sport England's latest funding regime. I think it's 63 million quid. 20 million is about the energy costs, but 43 is about investing in the future to hit that decarbonisation target. So absolutely on tune for that. So Tom, Bigwave, you've been doing some brilliant work around this subject matter. So just give us an overview of what you've been doing, and then we'll Michael explain how we're connecting the two together.
Yeah, I think it links back to where Mike said about the big picture. Obviously, of our client base and the synergy there was the need to make a difference where we can. So I think when we came back from COVID, we probably decided we needed to change the way we work in, like everybody else did. So we signed up to the Future Net Zero program in March 2022. Since then, we've seen a 50% reduction in our carbon output just in that year. So 25,000 kilograms reduction. So it's obviously something we're quite proud of, but something we want to carry on as well. So internally, we assigned a net zero hero, which is Laura from our web development team. So she's taken on the mantle to really just review everything we're doing and make sure that we're held to task a little bit, that we are following up on what we're saying. And also we're looking to start the B Corp certification as well, just to make sure we really genuinely do make that difference. And the main initiative we put in place was one called Printing Trees. So obviously from a marketing perspective, we want to make it sustainable as we can. We know that there is still the need for print, and people still do have that, signage, printing, distributions, whatever it might be. But we want to do it in the right way. So we assigned every £50 spend that anybody does on traditional marketing, print, uniforms, whatever that might be. We planted a tree, and that was started in June 2022. And to the end of February, we planted 3,000 trees so far, which is offset 30 tonnes of CO2. and it's something that we're really looking to kind of to embrace. And like I say, from a client's perspective, it's good as well, because each client that works with us on that goes on a leaderboard, and then from their sustainability perspective, they're also able to showcase what they're offsetting through their marketing.
Excellent. Thanks, Tom. And of course, Mike, we are looking at offsetting, and you're going to explain that in a bit, but we've also done a lot of work around the food choices that we've made for the menus to make sure it's got low carbon footprint. We're looking at some of the hotel practices and also transport as well. We're going to put together a piece to try and help people share vehicles, etc., on the way from stations. So Mike, how are we linking up with Bigwave and the tree planting piece?
Yeah, well, what we've been doing, as well as those very practical things, and I think it's really important to recognise that this isn't just about offsetting. Before you even think about offsetting, it's better not to actually emit the carbons at all, rather than emit them and then offset them. So all those little things that we've been doing over the years, Dave, like stopping doing the printed version of the directory, looking at how we serve water on the tables, moving away from plastic water bottles, making the food, moving towards making the food more plant-based, and bringing down the CO2 emissions on the food side of things. All those practical things are really important. But once you've done everything you can on that, we've then done a really interesting exercise working with the hotel, looking at the average distance that our delegates drive, how many delegates are driving, how many are using public transport. And we've worked out that the event as a whole is going to produce about 25 tons of CO2. Now, initially, we were thinking of going off and working our own in terms of offsetting that. But then we realised that obviously Bigwave had been a key partner of ActiveNet over the years, found out the work that they're doing, and I had a couple of conversations with Tom and realised it made perfect sense, rather than go off and start another offsetting practice, to use what they've already got set up with the Eden Reforestation Project, which is a great organisation working internationally, and using their offsetting scheme and their leaderboard to take our 25 tons, which we worked out with Tom is equivalent to 2,500 trees being planted in their various projects around the world. So we're going to be doing that, as well as a nice little link up to our after dinner speaker as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Well, Mike and Tom, thank you so much for explaining this. I think it's really important, not only aspiration, but we're actually going to deliver against it, and we can demonstrate why we've done it and how we've done it. So thank you both so much for your time. And if you're watching this and you want to join us at ActiveNet, you can via our live stream, and there'll be a link in the comments so that you can join us at ActiveNet for our CPD, which is around decarbonisation in the public sector. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. See you at the end of the month.
Thanks, Dave. Cheers, bye.
Bye.